So it's been 30 years since the PlayStation originally came out. I'm going to talk all about my PlayStation memories.
PlayStation.
What's up guys, Mike here, welcome back to my channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for more pop culture content in your feed every day. Let's get into it. I cannot believe that the PlayStation is 30 years old. That is an absolutely absurd number, and wow, that is so old. I'm also turning 30 in a few days, so I guess I should cop that as well. But that's pretty crazy, right? Because it means that the PlayStation has been around ever since I have been around. I have never lived in a world in which the PlayStation did not exist. That is incredible. And over the years, I've had so many great experiences with PlayStation games and the PlayStation brand that I just really wanted to talk about it in a video to celebrate this 30-year milestone. I am a gamer from way back. I absolutely love video games, and I've got to be honest, my first ever console was a Super Nintendo that I had when I was about 4 years old. The first ever video game that I remember playing was Donkey Kong Country on the SNES, and it is still to this day one of my favorite games of all time. I know that game like the back of my hand. We then got a Nintendo 64 in the late 90s, and we were always Nintendo kids, and then suddenly my dad just bought a secondhand PlayStation in like 2001. So we were a bit late to getting the original PlayStation, but boy oh boy did we have fun with it. The thing is, the PlayStation that our dad got us was secondhand, and it had one of those like chips in it that let you play copied games. So we would just like copy every game from the local video store and just play them. There are so many memories of games around this time, but I guess the ones that definitely stand out most to me are the Crash Bandicoot and Spyro games. And I know that these are iconic kind of original PlayStation games that most kids grew up with. I had so much fun, particularly with Crash Bandicoot Warped and Spyro Year of the Dragon. Those were the ones I really remember getting into. And the other PS1 game that I remember enjoying a lot was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Go to Gringotts to get some knuts, sickles and galleons.
I just love that game so much. I've done a video about it on my channel, so you can check that out as well. And other games that spring to mind from this era are like Rayman 2, which I remember playing a lot and really enjoying. And possibly still one of my favorite games of all time, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. We spent many hours playing that game, seriously. And FIFA 2001, which was one of the last FIFA games released on the PS1. I played the shit out of that. Moving on to around 2004, my dad bought us a PlayStation 2 for our birthdays. And I guess I've really got to thank my dad for this, because he was the one that was buying us video game consoles, and gaming has become one of my favorite hobbies in my life. Like, I love video games so much, and I guess that all spurs from my dad deciding it would be a good idea to buy us a Super Nintendo. And aside from the Nintendo 64, I think the PS2 gives me the most vivid memories of enjoying video games. It just came at like the exact time where I had the most free time to play games. I was like 11 or 12 when we got it, and I played so much PlayStation 2. We played so much PlayStation 2 that we had to enforce a rule that we weren't able to play it during the week. This is also where I started playing some of my favorite games of all time, including Kingdom Hearts.
I know now, without a doubt, Kingdom Hearts is light.
Kingdom Hearts as a discovery changed my life. That was the first game I had ever played that just had a genuine storyline, like voice acted cutscenes and everything. It was just incredible. The way it partnered up Disney and Square Enix and created this amazing RPG that was just perfect for a kid my age who had grown up in the 90s, getting to go and play through all the Disney worlds. Like, this game absolutely changed my life, and I have played every entry in the Kingdom Hearts series. I would probably say that Kingdom Hearts is in my top 3 game franchises of all time, alongside like Super Smash Brothers and probably Pokemon. But I could do a separate video all about how Kingdom Hearts just absolutely changed my life. I mean, the lead up to Kingdom Hearts 2 was so incredible. I am often quoted at family events as telling my mum that I was born to play that game.
They'll pay for this.
Also on PS2, we got into Ratchet and Clank, which I still think are some of the best 3D platform action games of all time. Again, that revolutionized the 3D platformer genre. You know, I had gone from playing like Super Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie to suddenly building on that to Ratchet and Clank, where you have guns and weapons and ammos and gadgets and all of this stuff. I have played every entry in the Ratchet and Clank franchise as well, all spurring back to me having a PS2. We also played a lot of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 and Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec from memory. We even had the steering wheel accessory where you had the pedals and the wheel and you could play Gran Turismo with that. On top of that, we played a lot of iToy Play 1 and iToy Play 2, which at the time was revolutionary. Like, you look at iToy now and you're like, I could literally do that on my phone, but like back in the day, seeing yourself on TV was just absurd. Like, it was so crazy, and we loved iToy. Special shout outs as well to The Simpsons Road Rage and The Simpsons Hit and Run. I've done a video about them on my channel as well, but those were a huge hit in our house too. And I think all of that contributes to the PS2 being my favorite gaming console ever. Probably around 2009, we got a PS3 for Christmas. To be honest, the PS3 might be my like least memorable of the bunch, but I still had a lot of fun times with it. I actually remember at the time wanting to get a Nintendo Wii, but my brother convinced me that Kingdom Hearts 3 would come out on the PS3, so we needed to get that. Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't end up coming out until the PS4 in 2019, so that's another story. But we got a lot of value out of the PS3, particularly in games like Guitar Hero, which was a massive fad at the time of like the PS3, Xbox 360 generation. And we also got really around PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, the Super Smash Bros. X clone for PlayStation. I loved playing as Ratchet and Clank in that game. It was awesome, and we played a ton of it. To be honest, I don't even have many other memories of the PS3, just a lot of Guitar Hero and Rock Band. That's what really characterizes that era for me.
They can play guitar now?
No, they're just little plastic controllers. You hit the colored buttons and it makes the guitar track on the gameplay.
I'm pretty sure in 2015, for my 21st birthday, which I guess is, 9 years ago now, which is crazy, my friends all pulled money together and got me a PlayStation 4. PS4 is actually when I got really into trophy hunting in video games. You can check out my profile on PSN Profiles, but I love 100%ing games if I can and collecting all of the trophies. There are so many highlights from the PS4 era. I thought Horizon Zero Dawn was just one of the most incredible games I had ever played. To this day, one of my favorite games. I say the exact same for Insomniac's Spider-Man. That game just blew me away then. It continues to blow me away now, and I've played all of the entries in the Spider-Man franchise. I fell in love with Final Fantasy 15. I know it is a controversial entry into the Final Fantasy franchise, but I spent a summer playing every second of that game and 100% of it, and I absolutely thought it was one of the best games I'd ever played.
Going through all that trouble to make our own custom cup, it's made me appreciate cup noodles even more.
The other thing the PS4 really opened up for me was games from the PS2 era that were being remade or remastered that I never got to play. That meant I got to try out Final Fantasy X, which I really enjoyed, the original Jak and Daxter trilogy, which I also really enjoyed. Plus, then we had the Crash Bandicoot and Spyro remakes, which I 100%ed all of them, and that was a nostalgia trip. And Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, was such a welcome addition to that group that I loved. And a big shout out also on PS4 to Doom Eternal, which was definitely my game of the year in like 2020. I thought that was incredible. And now that I was an adult, I had only one choice, which was to buy myself a PlayStation 5. I currently have a Switch and a PS5, and to be honest, I pretty much exclusively play the PS5. More recently with PlayStation, I actually subscribe to PlayStation Plus and download a lot of the free games, particularly like the smaller indie games. I personally think the PlayStation Plus membership is so valuable because you just get to try smaller games without having to commit to actually buy them, and there's so much free content on there that you could play for ages. Generally every month I just pick a new game that's been added for free and spend the month playing it. Recently I was playing Vampire Survivors, and now we're gonna play It Takes Two. A few indie games I've really enjoyed in the last like 12 months or so have been Tinykin, Forager, Dead Cells, Skull, Sea of Stars, and Nobody Saves the World, and all of them were free on PS Plus. I didn't pay $1 for them. In the meantime, I really enjoyed Spider-Man 2, Sonic Frontiers, Hogwarts Legacy, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and the most recent Astrobot, which was unbelievable. So I guess in conclusion, I love PlayStation. I'm so grateful that my dad bought us gaming consoles as kids because it's been such a fundamental part of who I am and what I do, like gaming in general, but PlayStation, like I'm a big Nintendo PlayStation guy. I've never owned an Xbox. I'm not like anti-Xbox. I've just always been in the PlayStation Nintendo ecosystem, and I cannot wait to play more games in 2025. I love PlayStation so much. There are so many memories that just are so dear to me, particularly Kingdom Hearts. I should do a video on how that game just changed my life completely, but PlayStation, it has been such an honor these last 30 years. Hopefully, we both last 30 more. Whew, thank you so much for watching, guys. Hey, comment below, what are your experiences with PlayStation? Did you own every console? What's your favorite one? And what are your favorite PlayStation games over the last 30 years? Let me know down in the comments. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe. I do a bunch of pop culture videos and self-help productivity and gaming and movies and all of that stuff, so I would love to get you on board the channel. My channel's growing. Get on board. You don't want to be one of the last ones to the party. Everyone's coming to the party. My party. Nah, I don't know. I am having a really good time doing this channel. So if you've been watching my videos this year, thanks so much. We are winding up for 2024, but I'll definitely be back in 2025. I got a few more videos this year, so stay tuned. That's pretty much it from me, though. My name's Radio Mike. This has been The Inside of My Mind. I'll catch you later.